Part here is the Pythagorean theorem, which we know, and we've got, say, this is x, y. Oh, we do A, B, C, right? So sometimes we do A, B, C. We can use whatever letters we want. So I'll do it A and a B and a C. So we know that C would equal square root of the A squared plus the B squared. Right, when we're looking for the hypotenuse. And then if I was looking for a shorter side, say A or B, that would be square root of C squared minus the A squared, etc. Right, different versions. I tried to do the square root version. Okay, so I already square rooted it there. It's the positive square root only. It's a length. Using your calculator, make sure you are in degree mode. You are going to be calculating these. So grab your calculator. I need you to get familiar with your own calculator so you can change it from mode to mode. Okay, because this is one of the things that you should know how to do. So make sure you bring your calculator all the time and get used to your own, right? Because each one's a little different. If you have this one, I'll do it with this one. You should be able to figure out how to reset your calculator, like kind of clear it. Sometimes there's the extra fixed and stuff. We talked about this before, I think. Or no, wait. Was this class or the other class? I can't remember. Yeah. So fixed. So remember, sometimes you want to just clear it out. So shift clear, and I cleared all. Press equals, and make sure it dashes, so it clears it all. So now I'm on degree mode. That automatically sets it to degree mode. It takes off any decimals and rounding that it wanted to do, so I'm there. So if we're on degree mode, we have sine of 50. So you're going to go sine of 50, and it's in degrees. So we got that, and you're going to press equals, and we want 4 decimal places. So when we do 4 decimal places, 5 always rounds up. So in math, we always round up. So 5 rounds. So the number rounds up, right? I know you learn different things in science class, but for math, always a 5 will round up, right? We never do anything other than that. So then here, I'm going to write down approximately 0.7660. Then it's a 4. The 4 there means it's not going to round up, and I'm going to stop there. Okay, so it's 4 decimal places, so stop there. You do not have to put the approximate on the equal sign. Try to do it. Every time you take off decimal places, I put the approximate sign. You don't have to do it. I'm not going to mark it. If you want to, you can try to do that. It makes it more accurate because you know where you rounded. So that wasn't an exact answer. That was an approximate. So because of the 4 here, I'm going to leave that as a 0. All right. Find the angle to the nearest degree. When you find an angle, that's when you're pressing the second function, right? So second, the inverse of second. So we're going to clear this. So I just pressed on there. We're going to go like this. Cos, like that. Do you have to write that step? No, you don't, right? So some people go, I don't like to write that step, and they go straight to the next one. That's fine. So you can go straight over here, okay? If you don't want to write that step, you don't have to write that step. And we are going to do second and then cos. You can see the little -1 there. And it'll be, you can put the 0.5 or you can go 0.5398. Most teachers prefer that you put the 0 in front of the decimal just because sometimes we can't see your dot. It makes your dot more emphasized. So I'm going to put that in, and we get 57.329, and it says to the nearest degree. So when you're writing any evaluation, you always want to do this and look to see what the instructions are. So this said 4 decimal places. This said nearest degree, so please watch out. These are little half marks you don't want to lose. So it's nearest degree, so it's 57.3, so it'll be approximately 57 degrees. All right. What if it's a fraction form? Same thing. So B, oh sorry, that's not beta, it's just a B. I'm used to grade 12, we're doing beta. So B equals, and it's tan, right, the inverse there, and you need a bracket. So a lot of your calculators will need a bracket. If you don't do it, you get a different answer, I'm pretty sure, because it doesn't know where the bracket goes. So if I did this, 3 divided by 5, I get 14.3. If I do it with a bracket, I go bracket 3 divided by 5 is 30.9. See how they're different? So the problem with the calculator is if you don't put the bracket on the calculator, then it doesn't know where to put the 5. It puts the 5 after, and it does tan of 3 and then multiplies your answer by 5. Right? So you have to watch out. So on your calculator, you're going to do tan, and you have to put this bracket. Okay, you have to put the bracket. It'll close it for you, but you have to start the bracket. Most of the calculators notice after you do the 3 divided by 5, it'll close it for you. It'll put the second bracket, but you have to start the first one. Does that make sense? All right, so then that should get me approximately 30.96, so 31 degrees. Next one, example 2, SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA is only for right-angled triangles, right? We know that. It only goes for right-angled triangles. So right-angled triangles, SOHCAHTOA. You should know which ones are adjacent, opposite, and hypotenuse. So for angle A, you have to know which angle is you're starting with. For angle A, you have to have a reference angle, because otherwise if you have this one, opposite and adjacent will be different. So if this is angle A here, this one would be opposite, this one's hypotenuse, and this one's adjacent. Okay, so it depends on your angle. You have to know what your reference angle is. That's going to be really important. For this question, I said, find the length of C. Which one's C? Lowercase c. Yeah, which one's C? The opposite to the angle. Yes, you're always, if this is angle C, you're pointing to your opposite of side C. Another word for side C would be AB, but they can call it either one. They can call it AB or side C. Okay, to the nearest tenth of a meter, tenth, that means 1 decimal, right? Okay, so we're going to find C to 1 decimal. Let's go ahead, and so if this is the angle I gave you, then this one here is the opposite, and this is the hypotenuse. You don't have to do that, but for your brain, you're thinking this. If I have 60, couldn't I also find this angle? How would I find this one, though? What do you think, Julie? Yes, that's a 90. That's a 60. 180 minus 90 minus 60 will get me 30. So you are allowed to do that, and then you can use this as your reference angle. So for a lot of these questions, sometimes there's more than one way to do it, right? There's usually 2 ways depending on which angle you're doing. I'm just going to use the 60 because it was given to me. But yes, you could have found that and then done the other side as being your reference angle. So opposite, hypotenuse, so this is my reference angle. Which one of the SOHCAHTOA uses O and H? That would be the S, the SO of the SOHCAHTOA. So we're going to use the SO part, S-O-H. So that means sine. This is not a capital, by the way. It's sine and cos. So look on your calculator. It's lowercase sine, lowercase cos, not capital, C-S, S-I-N-C-O-S, and that's a lowercase t. Try not to capitalize. Some people do that. Just an irritation. It's just not capitalized. So it's lowercase S-I-N, lowercase C-O-S, and lowercase T-A-N. Some people just capitalize everything because they think it's the first letter. So I'll try not to. Sine of 60. So it's lowercase sine of 60. So I write it like that. Equals, and it's O over H. So O is 3.6 over H, which is C. So you're filling it in, the O and the H. Does that make sense? O and H. Now I want to solve for C. When I solve for C, the best way to do this one is to imagine that this is over 1 and I'm bringing this up here to multiply. When I bring the C up here to multiply, I put it in front. So C sine 60 equals 3.6. I bring that in front. I don't want to put it after the 60, so we actually move it not there, but I put it in front. Right? Same thing, but it's easier in front. Then I divide both sides by whatever I don't want there, which is the sine 60. Does that make sense? And then now we get C equals, and then on your calculator, in one go. So I don't know if sometimes teachers ask you to show an extra step. I want you to punch this right in. You're going to go 3.6 divided by sine of 60. And I'm getting 4 point, and it says nearest tenth, so 2 decimal places. So 1, 2. The third one is 6, so that means I'm going to round this guy up. The second one goes up to 4.16. Does that make sense? Yep.
Isn't tenth just the first decimal?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, first decimal. Sorry. Thank you. I'm doing 2. I just did a bunch with my other class. I kept doing 2. Okay, we did 100. So tenth, and I did this one on purpose. That's why I was like, I should have asked one with a 5. Because what did I mention right before? Tenth is 1 decimal, so I want to show you the 5. I was looking at the question. I was like, 5. The 5 means that's going to round up to 2. Okay, so anytime it's a 5, we're going to round it up, so it'll be 2. Thank you. Yes?
On the second line, instead of writing C sine 60 over sine 60, can you just write C equals 3.6?
Yes, so definitely you can skip this step. So if you go from here and you go and you miss this, you don't have to show that. You can go right here. So this part here, I'll highlight or I'll bubble it. So this part here, you don't have to show this. Yeah. Some people go, I push it up and I push it down at the same time. So they cross it over. So C goes up, sine 60 goes down, so you don't have to show that. So you go C equals that. Perfect. Yep. Some people actually calculate it right away. So what I really need to see is I need to see the ratio, quite honestly. And if you go to 4.2, I'm okay with that. Right? Because after you've done a bunch of these, and again, grade 10, I would make you show the one middle step. But now I'm like, yes, if you miss that, I need to see your answer. So I need to see this ratio. So definitely show me the SOHCAHTOA, right, the ratio. That gets you that mark. And then if you're like, you know what, I can punch it in grade 11, yeah, I let you skip to there. Okay, beyond that, I don't know what else you would skip. You have nothing else to skip. So, so yeah, you can go right there. Okay, so this step and this step. Middle step optional, and yeah, you can write it under. Okay, 1 decimal, and I showed you the 5. Again, 5 rounds up. Good. Next one. Find the measure. Good for questions? Stop me when you have a question. Okay. Next one, find the measure of angle A. Whenever you're finding the A, you're using the second inverse part, but I'm going to set it up first. So A is this one, right? That's my reference angle. Then I know that this guy here is the opposite, and this one here is my adjacent. That's the opposite and that's the adjacent. Which of the SOHCAHTOA uses opposite and adjacent? That would be the TOA. So then I know it's tan. Do I have the angle? No, I do not. Tan of A. So see, that's a capital. Tan is not capital. Some people capitalize everything because you think it's the start of a letter or a start of a word, but look on your calculator. See? Lowercase. Sine cos tan. Okay? Tan A equals, and then your ratio is going to be O over A. O is 3. A is 7. So I want to see this. Again, because you're grade 11, I'll let you skip a step. If you want to show me this, you can. But some people are getting a little bit faster, and so yes, I'll give you the mark for here. You can skip to the A. So if you're like, can I do that on my calculator? Yes, you can. In one go, I'm going to go second tan bracket 3 divided by 7. And it's 23 point, and I want nearest degree, so always look, nearest degree. So that'll be 23.19, so 23 degrees. You must put the degree symbol on your answer. It's like centimeters and inches and stuff like that. You have to put the degree. Next year, I'm going to show you something else. I'll show you something called radians. There'll be another unit. purpose. You have to put the degree in your answer. Okay. Next page. Ready? Yeah, question. Meters. Tenth of a meter. Yes, I do. Good. Before I turned off the recording. Thank you. Meters. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, wherever there's units, you want to put units on your final answer. And if it's something like a tree and stuff, then you need to say the tree is in sentence. This one is not. Good. Any other questions or corrections for me?